Is the music still playing? Cut the music. Cut the music. Hello again, everybody, and welcome to Ballcaps and Bagpipes. It's been a while, ladies and gents. Is that you, Jason?
Been. It was it is. I'm all shaven, so I look a little different.
So, are you getting feedback, or is it just me?
I think it's just you. I'm not hearing any feedback. You have Facebook open. Is that why you're getting dual Facebook?
As it, I've got YouTube open. That's what's.
There
There. Okay. Problem solved. Right. Once again, sorry. Welcome back to Ballcaps and Bagpipes. I'm John McKayla.
And I'm Jason there. Good to see you all.
Baseball Scotland Hall of Famer, Jason. There, you had a couple of new guys added to your exclusive club this past Saturday, and that's what we're here to talk about. Jason, is the awards dinner 2022, which was held in Edinburgh. Paul Convoy, I think he was kind of pressed for time and looking to get it all sort of thrown together in quite a short space of time. And I think he did a pretty good job overall of doing that, considering, I think there was a lot of to and fro about what was going to happen with the awards dinner this year. Managed to get it done. It was a great night. It was a great success, and so many people who are so deserving walked away with awards on the evening.
Glad to see that I showed up. It was a nice chat with everybody. I wish I had more time to chat with everybody. But yeah, it's good to see that. Obviously, I've seen on the field, but I hadn't actually seen in their best. They're setting their best, I guess you could say.
Yeah, it was a Saturday night, but we were all on a Sunday best, as you say. We are going to talk about like I say, the awards dinner. We'll recap the awards. Paul Convoy, Baseball Scotland President, had intended to join us tonight, but he's unfortunately he's a bit sick just now, so he's recovering. So we wish him a speedy recovery in the meantime. Yeah, Saturday night, Edinburgh was the place. The awards dinner was the event. It was intimate. It was I got to speak in great depth with quite a few folk from the league that I had never had the chance to properly talk to, so that was really nice. But what do you say we get straight into the awards?
Absolutely, there's a lot of people honored on Saturday night. Let's talk about them all.
Yep, indeed. Owing, of course, in part to the fact that there are now two divisions and there were separate awards for the single A division and for the triple A division. We started with the single A, and it was the single A Rookie of the Year award. The nominees for Rookie of the Year in single A were Adam Fortune Smith, Captain Pan, of course, of the single A division, and Caledonia Classic winning Tayport Breakers. One of my teammates, Matt Gill, on the Comets. You had Daniel Ashraf, young Aaron Duncan over in Aberdeen, the rookie over there, and Jackson McGregor was the other nominee. And that award was won by Captain Pan, who I think there can be no confusion or doubt as to who that award ended up going to in the end. Captain Pan was absolutely lights out this season. I think probably the key part of the title-winning season for the single A Tayport Breakers.
Tell me if he dominated or not.
The next category was single A Gold Glove. Captain Pan won a single A Gold Glove as well at pitcher. He went, spoiler alert, folks, he went home with quite a lot of silverware. My teammate Craig Waddle won a single A Gold Glove at catcher, which was great. Another teammate of mine, Craig Fee, won at first base. At second base was Rebecca Withers. At third base, it was Matthew Young. The shortstop was won by Gordon McLaren, another teammate of mine, an excellent fielder, an excellent all-round single-A player, to be honest, Gordon. Great teammate as well. John Patterson won in left field. In centre field, Fiona Brambley of the Galaxy won. It's not the last we'll hear of Fiona Brambley on the show. The right field Gold Glove at Single A was won by Saeed Dickey. So that's the 9. That's the Gold Glove winning 9 for Single A. Next up was Silver Slugger. The Single A pitch and Silver Slugger winner was Eric Yang. The catcher award went also to Craig Waddle of the Comets. First base went to Stephen Tosh. Stephen Tosh up in Tayport. Second base, it was Adam Fortune Smith. The third base award went to Rob Beckham. Now, I'm not sure. I don't think I know who Rob is, to be honest. I don't know if we've met. If we have, Rob, I really apologise. I'm really poor with. I don't have a great memory in my old age, but yeah, Rob had the third base. I'm not sure who he is though, so apologies. Jason Chung of Edinburgh Knights, he won at shortstop, well deserved. In left field, Ian Fanning. Centre field Single A Silver Slugger award was Matthew Gill, and I think that was pretty much obvious because Matt came along this year. He was a rookie, but my God, man, like I don't think even we realised what we were getting until we started playing games. The guy's outstanding. He's just got such a natural talent for this game. I don't imagine that we'll be seeing him on this list next year because I feel like Triple A is probably more in his future rather than any more Single A play. But nevertheless, in right field, the winner for Single A and Silver Slugger category was Liam Quinn. Now, Scott Black asks, no utility player award? No. I honestly don't think there should be a utility player award, man. Like, if you're a utility player, then it means that you're not playing enough at any one position to really be worthy of an award, surely. And I say that as an ardent fan of David John LeMahieu. Like, don't get me wrong.
I think he brings a valid point. I think, like I said, maybe you're a shortstop, but so I did run the positions, but you're second base. So you do both positions there. So maybe you only played 6 games at shortstop and 6 games second base. Which side do you go to there?
Yeah, you know what? You make a point. To be fair, especially in Single A in this league, guess the MLB better scrap it then, says Scott. I mean, that's what I would do if I was MLB, but I'm not Major League Baseball. My thoughts on the game and those of the people who run Major League Baseball diverged from the same path a long time ago. But yeah, but you make a good point though, Jason. Particularly in our league, like most everyone is a utility player. Especially in Single A, there's not really. You don't really have set positions in Single A, do you? It's more just kind of like who you can fit into whatever role. So, maybe I'm wrong on that. Maybe there should be more of a sort of just utility. It should just. I think you might be having some technical difficulties there, Jason, because I'm struggling to see and hear you.
Absolutely. I've swapped Wi-Fi a few times. I keep going back. There's something going on with my Wi-Fi. It's really annoying.
Duh. Are those girls of yours watching cartoons or something? Is that maybe what's happening? Are they watching cartoons in the house?
I believe it's Bake Off right now. So I think that's what's going on.
Bake Off. Okay. Well, that's an authority that's far higher than you or me. That's in charge of Bake Off. So we'll leave it there. Let's move to the next award. That was the Scottish National Baseball League Single A MVP award. Now the nominees for this were Captain Pan, Craig Waddle of the Comets, Matthew Young, and Billy Henriquez. I'm not sure if it's Henriquez or Enriquez. I'm never sure how to pronounce the H in Enriquez or Henriquez, but nevertheless, the winner was Captain Pan, so he's already won 3 awards, and there have been 4 awards, read out so far. So I should give you an idea how successful he was. I think he's probably needed a suitcase for the drive home to take all of his stuff with him. Then we've got the Single A league table. Of course, the Tayport Breakers were awarded their trophy for winning the Single A division, which again, they were on their feet half the night, collecting their awards and trophies. So again, hearty congratulations to the Tayport Breakers Single A side. Yeah. So then the AAA. Is this a single A? Hold on. Yeah. So it's the next we went to AAA and we looked first at the home run leaders. Quite a lot of people hit home runs this year, but no one hit that many. Like we're used to, obviously, in the last few seasons, seeing um, Albert Rodriguez hit like 5 or 6 a year, but that's not been the case this season. The home run champion this year only hit 3, and that was Kaoru Miyashita, a former Comet teammate of mine, a lovely guy. He's now with the Granite City Oilers. Did a bit of pitching this year. So congratulations to Kaoru. He hit 3 home runs this year, and that's the most that anyone hit this season, Jason.
I know that's like John Nelson's bad day. That's all.
No, yeah, yeah. it's like I'm only gonna hit 3 this month. That's like he probably had 3 by the end of the first month of that year that he hit the record.
Yeah, I think that's more of a testament to the pitching. I think the pitching was better this year. I think we've seen the pitcher get
Yeah,
better every year, so it's not as easy. And especially when you split the division, you play a doubleheader and then have, let's say, a single A pitcher pitching that second game there. So I think
yeah,
because the league's divided, you're seeing better pitching, and so it's gonna be hard to hit home runs. Apparently, at least that's my theory.
yeah,
We should keep tracks. How many home runs hit this year, and let's compare it to next year.
yeah. I think you're absolutely right. I think that the single A and triple A distinction has led to both, less home runs, lower scoring games, and also better defensive play as well. So you're not seeing as many runs scored by way of the home run. You're also not seeing as many runs scored by way of the error as well. Like people have to earn runs like they do in sort of actual baseball. Like for a very long time in this league, we had experienced players playing alongside people who had never played the game before, and it leads to a lot of disjointedness in terms of defensive quality, the pitching, and also the hitting standard. All of that's changed now this year with the single A division. You've got people who get a chance to develop at a level that's a step below, so that they're able to build their confidence, build up their skills from scratch if need be, and then potentially move up to AAA when they're ready to, instead of having a lot of pressure on them in the AAA division that they're not ready for. So you've seen that a lot across this season. We saw it in the postseason. The single A game was a close game. There were a few errors, but it was a close game. And the AAA Caledonia Classic this year was fantastic. And of course, that game in the semi-final between the Breakers and the Cannons, like Jason Paul said at the weekend, he said that he thinks that's the best game of baseball he's ever seen played in Scottish soil.
Fair enough. There's always those games that like that. I have a distinct one that I remember as my favorite game. That was probably one of the best we played. But everyone's gonna have their own personal favorite.
Yep, absolutely. Many congratulations to everyone in single A that won awards again, by the way, and congratulations again to Kauru. What a player he is. Next up, it was the AAA Gold Glove Award. Shin Yen Lee won the Gold Glove at pitcher this year. Rory Dunn, your old friend Rory, won the Gold Glove at catcher. Now, we were talking about home runs a minute ago. He obviously hit his first ever home run after playing for 20 years this year. So that was a definite highlight. Rory Dunn at catcher. It was Cesar Panda Alexander who won the Gold Glove at first base for AAA this year. I'm sure my coach Jason Stott will be fuming at that, but well deserved. Nonetheless, Federico Gambadotti was the Gold Glove second baseman. I don't know what's going on with your camera there, but you're frozen and I can barely hear you.
I'll try swapping my Wi-Fi again.
I can hear you now. I can hear you now. Just stay where you are. Don't move a muscle. So Federico Gambadotti, second base Gold Glover.
Yeah.
Paul Gardner won the third base Gold Glove at AAA. Shortstop, it was Marina De Angelis, a friend of the show, ball player that we're both big fans of. She followed up 2021 campaign where she was an MVP finalist with yet another fantastic campaign this year. Big part of the AAA Caledonia Classic, and a very key part of this Single A division winning and the Single A Caledonia Classic winning Table Breakers side. The left field Gold Glove went to the old man himself, Sylvain Morisseau, Le Blur, as he was called by Paul back at the AAA Caledonia Classic. So congratulations, Sylvain. Miles Peterson of the Glasgow Galaxy won in centre field. And finally, in right field, Jose Gonzalez was the right field Gold Glove winner from, I believe, Jose, was he the Edinburgh Devils?
I would assume so.
It's one of the Edinburgh teams I believe he plays for, but please forgive me if I've gotten that wrong. AAA Silver Slugger. At AAA, the Silver Slugger for pitcher went to Peter Rowe. So Peter Rowe, congratulations on that. Leo Hernandez won Silver Slugger at catcher. At first base, it was Mo Adams of the Glasgow Galaxy, tremendous power hitter, a guy who came along and was, a big part of the Galaxy batting lineup in recent months. Juan Suarez at second. Rocky Shue won at third base, the AAA Silver Slugger. For shortstop, it was Luis Marino of Edinburgh. Connor Smith won in left field, so congratulations to Connor. Connor introduced himself to me on Saturday, incidentally, and we chatted for a short bit. Lovely guy. Nice to meet you, by the way, Connor, and hopefully we'll get him on the show next year to talk about his immense talent and what he's already done in the game and where he might potentially go next, because there's no ceiling for a kid as talented as Connor Smith, that's for sure. In centre field, it was Alfredo Perez, and the Silver Slugger Award winner at AAA for right field was Jake DeBurka of the Table Breakers. So that was the Silver Slugger Award winners. So the finalists for Pitcher of the Year were Kit Serrell of Edinburgh, David Flores of the Glasgow Comets, and Xin-Yen Lei of the Table Breakers. Now, this was one of the awards that kind of surprised me a wee bit, because I had expected Xin-Yen to win it, because I think he just had such a great and consistent season. It's probably helped by the fact that I saw a lot more of Xin-Yen, I must admit. So I did see a hell of a lot more of Xin-Yen this year than I did Kit. But Kit Serrell was the winner of Pitcher of the Year. Massive congratulations to you, Kit. And if you could, I don't know if you can see the picture that Paul used of Kit.
Great picture that we even took.
Yeah, that was tremendous. By the way, you can view the AAA section of the awards dinner. You can view the AAA section on demand on the stream at the Baseball Scotland Facebook page. That's just facebook.com/Baseball Scotland. So I would definitely recommend checking that out. Now there were, let me think, 2, 4, 6. I don't even know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There were 10 finalists for MVP. So the Scottish National Baseball AAA MVP nominees were Kit Serrell, Connor Smith, Luis Marino, Leo Hernandez, David Flores, Ian Davidson, one of my teammates, a guy you know pretty well, iDog, Xin-Yen Lei, Jacob Wright of the Galaxy, Mo Adams, and Pat Musel up in Aberdeen. And the MVP winner came down to 3 finalists: Connor Smith, David Flores, and Xin-Yen Lei. And for me, the deserving MVP winner this year was the professor himself, Xin-Yen Lei. Congratulations, Xin-Yen, of the Table Breakers, on that massive win. I don't remember. Do you remember who won MVP in 2019? Obviously, we didn't have an awards ceremony in 2020 due to COVID, but can you remember who won the MVP award in 2019?
No. No, I can't.
Let me see. Is Paul Convoy around?
It doesn't matter.
I'm going to message Paul live on the air right now and ask him. Who won the 2019 MVP award? I should put in Scotland as well, man. He'll be like, fucking in Scotland. The reason I ask, obviously, last year, Kyle won. And obviously, Shinyen winning this year, that's 2 pitchers in a row that have won the MVP award. I'm just wondering who won it in 2019. Scott Black says Kyle, but I'm not sure. Did Kyle win it 2 in a row? That might be right.
No.
That might be right.
No, I can't imagine.
The Galaxy won the title that year, didn't they? Please, if the 2019 MVP of Scottish baseball can you hear my voice right now? Make yourself be known. Make yourself known. Let me hear you. 2019 MVP.
I don't know.
I'm not sure either.
Well, listen, and I'll tell you what, I will update the website when I get a chance, and we can put the former award winners on there. We'll put everything up on the website. So we have a new website, so it is up there. It's probably has been touched for 3 months, so probably not the most up to date currently, but it is up there. And I will put the former MVPs up there and award winners on there. I should have thought of that before this, but yeah, we can do that totally.
Yeah, I don't know who won it in 2019. Could Kyle have won it 2 in a row? I'm trying to think.
No, I can't imagine it.
Would he have been an Edinburgh Giant still at the time? In 19, were they around in 19 and then they stopped?
They would have been around possibly, because that was pre-COVID.
Yeah, I think that 19 might have been the Giants last year. I'm just trying to zip through the presentation again because I closed it to message Paul. Thank God it's the season finale. That's all I'm saying.
I'm trying to think. Get there in 2019. It wouldn't have been Brett Griffin. This is the only other person I can think of. Maybe.
The Galaxy won.
Did Albert ever win?
Albert won what was known at the time as the Haggis Basher. He won the home run crown, but I don't know if he won MVP. I don't think so. I don't think that a Comet's ever won MVP. So, and he would have been a Comet by that point.
Yep, we'll have to do that. That's actually a good point. I should probably Scott's Black saying whoever was a pitcher. Was it Luke Powell?
That's a good show. Actually, it might well have been. Look, we took a long road for a shortcut, but the point I was trying to make was, it seems like, I think it highlights how important a good pitcher is, especially in this league. Like if you're a good pitcher and you pitch your way to maybe a league title or make a team, considerably better than they were the year before, or win any sort of trophies, you're going to be in with a shout of MVP because pitching is everything in this league, and that's been shown, I think, in recent years with the MVP winners. So yeah, congratulations again to Sheeny and Late. The Edinburgh Cannons, of course, were handed the trophy. It feels like it's been a very long time since the Cannons won the league because they won it so early. They had such a dominant first half of the year that it was, out of sight practically by the All-Star break. I think, was it 1 or 2 wins, I think they were away from winning the league by the All-Star break? Something mental like that.
They were on quite the streak. Yep.
Yeah.
So it's been 10 years. The one was 2000. It was 2010, 2011, 2012, and then after that, the Devils took over, and then and then it's gone all around now. So it's good to see it come back.
Yeah, you must be chuffed for the Cannons, man. So yeah, the Edinburgh Cannons, Scottish national champions, 2022. The contributions to Scottish Baseball Award was the next one that was given out by Paul. I was lucky enough to be awarded one of them last year, and the contributions to Scottish Baseball Award this year went to Richard Zabikovsky, Coach Rit of the Edinburgh Juniors. It was Zibkowski. I mean, I don't know. My family is actual Polish. You see,
I played with Rick.
Yeah, well, my family's actual
So
Polish,
Rit,
so we would say
I played with Rit.
Zibkowski. You played with Rit?
He's American Polish, so it's Zibkowski. I played with Rit. Yeah, I've known Rit for almost 20 years.
Any favorite stories of playing with Rit? Yeah.
So Rit spent time in Japan. I think most famous story from Rit is we're all sitting down, like snacking between games. And he pulled out a dragon fruit and started eating dragon fruit, and everyone was like, "What the fuck is that?"
That is the kind of thing that would get you relentless slagging for the rest of the season on a Glasgow bench.
Pretty much. Everyone else is like eating like ham sandwiches, and Rit's got like sushi and
yeah.
But Rit's great. Like he's been great in the juniors. I want to say it's like 6 years now. So he's really kind of like his son took an interest in baseball again. And he's like, well, of course I'm gonna take over there. And he's grown it from, I think it was like 3 or 4 of his friends that now I think there's like over 20 that show up on a Sunday for the junior training. So he's done a really good job with it.
Yeah, Paul made the reference to 1 or 2 times that he took over the juniors when Rit's hasn't been around, and just how full on and energetic it is. Because I think testament to just how great Rit has been and to have done it for 5-6 years. And Paul, of course, also mentioned that there's now a crop of those young players who is ready to make the jump and come into sort of the Baseball Scotland League. So, it's going to be interesting to see how they get on and see what that means for the Edinburgh Knights, for the Edinburgh Devils, and for the Edinburgh Cannons next year and moving forward.
I think it'll be great. Hopefully, maybe have enough to go and have their own single A team. If not, they'll be feeding into the single A team, and they'll have to fight their way to get some playing time. But that's what it's all about. It's all about kind of bringing your game up to the level you're playing at, and showing everyone that you belong to be there.
Absolutely, yeah. It'd be interesting to see if they do join the Knights, because if they join the Knights, then that's going to make the Knights absolutely stacked, man. Like, that's going to give them so much depth, and it's going to be interesting to see how the Knights get on next year if they've got that much at their disposal. See if they can climb up that table. They were obviously finished, I think, 3rd place this year. So we'll see if that extra depth, leads to extra positions on the standards next year. It's going to be interesting to see if they start as a new team, where they're going to start off from. A new team can either go the way of the Express, where they were second in the league and almost won the Caledonia Classic in their first year, or could go the way of the Table Breakers last year are a great example. Struggled for most of the year, eventually put it together and managed to put together a phenomenal season this year. But it's going to be something to watch next season on Ballcaps and Bagpipes for sure. The next award was the President's Award, which is a very prestigious reward that's given out by Paul himself, and it went to someone who I think was very deserving of it this year, Fiona Brambley of the Glasgow Galaxy, primarily in... Sorry, I'm getting notifications in my ear here. Stop it. Yeah, she was kind of instrumental in the pursuit of the European adventure for the women's baseball, Great Britain. They went over to France, and they made a great account of themselves. So she is very deserving of that. Just what she's done for girls in the game as well in general. She's such an accessible face and voice for women in baseball that I think just her being around the Glasgow team makes it a hell of a lot more inviting place for women to come play, and we need more of that in the league. So congratulations again to Fiona for that. Let me just check. Caledonia Classic. It was the next one, and it was obviously single A. It was the Breakers over the Comets. We've discussed the Caledonia Classic and the playoffs in previous episodes, but just one more congratulations to Tayport. Obviously, they won both the single A and triple A Caledonia Classic this year. It's the first year we've had single A and triple A Caledonia Classics. They've already been the first team to do the double, so there's nowhere to go from here but down, unfortunately, guys. I'm afraid. One thing that he did give out that's worth noting is the Caledonia Classic MVP awards. Captain Pan won again in single A, and I think more than deserving. He pitched well enough that day that he gave them a chance to come back from 2 deficits. The Comets looked at one point like they might finally beat the Breakers in that day, but Captain did a phenomenal job of digging in, finding that extra command, that extra bit of velocity, and just getting the right pitches at the right time to get them over the line in that game. So congratulations, Captain. And in Triple A, it was Sylvain Morisseau, who I think was more than deserving. He had a phenomenal game during the Triple A Caledonia Classic. I remember I talked about it, I think, on commentary at the time, just how good he was that day. So congratulations to Sylvain as well on that award. The Hall of Fame was the last one. Now, the class of 2022 features someone that sadly passed away a few years back. Someone who I don't believe I ever had the pleasure of meeting, but I know that you knew him pretty well, Jason. Donald Brocci joins the ranks of the Hall of Fame in Scottish baseball.
I did that. He was before my time. It's in the early 90s.
He was before your time? My God. Yeah, he was instrumental from what I can tell
exactly.
in the... Wow, that's you're going back a long, long way then. Donald Brocci, though, instrumental in the creation of...
Early 90s.
80s and 90s, yeah, instrumental in the creation of the Edinburgh Baseball Club, what would eventually become the Diamond Devils, and now, of course, what we have, which is the Devils and the Cannons and the setup that you guys have out there. None of that would have been able to happen without Donald Brocci. Of course, the Brocci Shield just a couple of years ago, back in 2020, when we had the COVID cancelled season, the Edinburgh teams went head-to-head in a friendly tournament, a one-game playoff for the Donald Brocci Shield. I still don't know who won that, because it was funny on Saturday when he was talking about it. I was like thinking, please say who won it, because because at the time it happened, we were like, I don't know, and then you were like, I don't know either. So at the time we didn't know, and then he didn't mention who actually won it on Saturday either. So if you know who won that Donald Brocci Shield in 2020, then please do let us know, and we can put this to bed. This thread of the show can finally end. But congratulations to the Brocci family. I know that his wife and his son managed to make it down for the Brocci Shield game, and I think it was quite an emotional experience for them to see the legacy he had left and how much it was appreciated. So congratulations to Donald and his family. We need more of that. We need more of that in the Hall of Fame, like people who came before even you, certainly long before I did. Into actually the second inductee this year. There were 2 of them, and the other one was our old friend Nick Clark, who was on the show in season 2 during the COVID season. He was amazing to talk to, and I hope that we'll potentially be able to get him back on one day to tell more stories about his time. But massive congratulations to Nick on the Hall of Fame induction. I know that you knew Nick quite well. He led the team when you first started, and it was actually Nick that you took the reins from when you took over. Tell me, we've probably talked about Nick quite extensively in the past, but tell me about what it means to you to see Nick go into the Hall of Fame.
It's great to see him. You pretty much have the legacy of every kind of coach, manager from Edinburgh from the mid 80s till now in the Hall of Fame. So it was great to see Nick. Nick put in more effort than I could even imagine doing back in the day. I mean, everything was done pretty much manually. You didn't have the websites to go and track people down for. So he was calling people, and organize everything. So it was well deserved. Nick, gosh, I think he was the one that put together the Scotland League tournament in 1999 that was played in Meadowbank. So
Yeah.
that was a big deal back when it happened. Fun is Scottish League off the ground. So we wouldn't even have a Scottish League if it wasn't for Nick. So well deserved. Glad to see him win.
Yeah, yeah. The awards night that we just had for the league. Without the guys that were inducted into Hall of Fame, we wouldn't have been in Edinburgh. And like you say, without Nick, we probably wouldn't have a league to talk about. So it was brilliant to see Nick go in. And again, congratulations to both of them. Congratulations one more time to everyone who won awards at the 2022 Scottish Baseball Awards. It was a great night. I remember one of the highlights of the night for me was sitting on a train back to Queen Street with my teammate Saeed. We talked about hitting for like an entire hour, and it was great. It's like it was such a great chat. So that was probably a highlight of the night for me, and of course seeing your bad self as well, Jason.
I need to post a picture of myself about once a month during the season. So we'll be the next one until April.
Yeah, we're going to be back with the 2023 season of Ballcaps and Bagpipes probably around February, March. We'll wait until we have more information on exactly when the season's going to be starting and stuff. We'll get Paul on for the usual, the President's report that he does every pre-season, of course. And we look forward to doing more interviews with more players starting next year. In the meantime, please subscribe to Ballcaps and Bagpipes on YouTube. It's just Ballcaps and Bagpipes if you search it in the bar. I haven't gotten around to giving us a username yet, but I'll get on that. Please follow us on Facebook and Twitter. It's at Caps and Pipes on Twitter, and it's I believe you can find us by typing at Caps and Pipes on Facebook as well, but just search Ballcaps and Bagpipes and you'll find us. Follow us on Instagram if you feel like it. It's Ballcaps and Bagpipes. I don't use Instagram. I don't even know if you use it.
I've been posting for a while. Yeah.
Yeah, but follow us everywhere anyway, and of course subscribe to the podcast on your podcast player of choice. That is, of course, if you don't watch the video version on Facebook and YouTube, or indeed Twitch. Twitch, I think I have no idea what the Twitch is. Just search for Ballcaps and Bagpipes on Twitch. Yeah, I don't really. Yeah, so. But yeah, that is going to do it for the 2022 season on Ballcaps and Bagpipes, right? That's going to do it for season 4, the 2022 season on Ballcaps and Bagpipes. We're going to take the entire winter off this year, so we won't be doing any bonus episodes for the time being. We will be back in spring, and yeah. In the meantime, have a great off season, everybody.
Yep. Everyone have a nice off season. Stay safe. Hope you guys have a holidays, and we'll see you next year.
Bobby Bonilla.